How you doing? I'm Big D. This show, I'm going to talk about different discussions that I'm seeing in different posts. People are getting a little frustrated about certain things. Also, they get excited about individual accomplishments, but then get disgusted because they see no more weight loss, when in turn, it has just been water weight. I want to talk about water weight, what's going to happen. Majority of the people that go on these types of medications, it could be even including Saxenda, but the main ones, Ozempic and Wegovy. Those two are what we're talking about. When you first start this type of medication, what happens? Your body rids sugar from your body. When it does that, it flushes water from your system. So you could lose in the first couple of weeks 5, 10, 20 pounds. But then people get frustrated. I'm not losing anything. You never lost anything in the first place. Remember, 3,500 calories burned or less of an intake of food. This is the basics. I mean, it's more it's more difficult than that, but the basics of it, 3,500 calories burned or lessened the amount of intake of food is equal to 1 pound of fat. So if you lost 5 pounds in your first week, do you really believe you just lost 5 pounds of fat? Similar occurrence goes when someone says, well, my clothes fit, but I haven't lost anything on the scale. Another issue is water retention and also water loss they fall in the same category because the water is definitely a weight, but your scale might not be showing accuracy, but you might show some things that like a pair of pants that actually fit that didn't fit the week before, but they might have been close. That is because the surface retains your water, your fat, and things like that. Again, I am not a doctor, but I have researched many different things because of these medications before I started them. So hopefully some of this information is going to help. Now in the future, I'm going to have some carnivore and keto type recipes that are going to interest a lot of people. You're going to find that one could work with both sometimes, because if it's not straightforward carnivore, a lot of people do not want to hear about it. Like if it comes from the ground, carnivore don't want to hear it. Carnivore want to know about meat or something that might have been a byproduct of meat, like butter. So a lot of people think if you do not cut back on fats, you are not going to lose fat. That is a very old school thinking, because you have to have fats in your diet to lose fat. Now, I'm not talking about the bad fats, but if you use fats in your diet, and I'm not talking about carnivore. Carnivore is very, very specific. You want to have carnivore, probably butter is a very, very simple, straightforward. You have butter, that is the way to go. Use that in everything. That's what it sounds like, okay? Do your own research. Again, I am not a doctor. These are just things that I have found that I am here to share, that I know work. If you've ever heard of Dr. Barry, he is phenomenal. And if you can't learn something from Dr. Barry, then you're not listening. I use some of his quotes and I use some of his techniques, and I'm going to use some more throughout my shows. I'm going to talk about a little bit of posts that keep coming up, and I really don't understand why anyone that's on Ozempic or Wegovy are believing that they should see any real or true weight loss in your first few dosage increases. 0.25, 0.5, you know what I mean. Progresses up until you get to the major dosages. You might see some because many people are very strict in what they eat. Others are like, well, I'm going on a vacation and you think it would be okay if I drink? Well, if you're not going into this 100% to lose weight instead of just, still wanting to do the things that you did in the past, you're probably wasting your money. It's going to slow your progress, and it's a good chance that you will not stick to it. Some things might actually make you nauseous or constipated. One thing that Dr. Berry talks about: constipation. What do you do? What does he do? Increases magnesium. And he also recommends upping your fat intake. Many of us know Ozempic and Wegovy both have that type of issue. Can it help Wegovy and Ozempic participants? That's up to you. Again, check with your doctor. Obviously, most doctors do not know what Dr. Berry knows. Dr. Berry is a very specific type of doctor. And if you listen to him, you'll see what I mean. But take a chance. Go on over to YouTube. Dr. Ken Berry. Very, very informative. He has a lot of YouTube shows that he talks about questions and answers. Some things you might not want to hear, like this show. Here's some. This one individual, she states, 8 weeks, 2 pounds, maybe 0.5 milligrams is my ticket to losing. Okay. Someone thinking that your very starter dose is going to help you. And I don't understand this. Why is someone staying on a dosage before moving up longer than you really have to? And how does so many individuals not know this product needs to be refrigerated? Well, I'm going to tell you that I think it comes from when you go to the pharmacist. Let's start with the doctor. You go to the doctor, you say, this is what I want to do. You get it prescribed. They do not go over a whole lot of things. They just ask you, does anyone have any questions? Well, how would you have any questions if you don't have any experience yet? That's very difficult. So why aren't doctors being more forceful in telling them very detailed information about this? Probably because they don't know. So going to the pharmacist knows it needs to be refrigerated up to a certain point. It can be in your medicine cabinet for a certain amount of time. Most likely, whatever you have that for, if you pick it up and you have a 1 month supply, most likely that whole supply can be out of your refrigerator. But I myself, I'm more cautious. I keep it all in the refrigerator until the day before I use it. That's way, in my mind, it's the freshest possible. So if you're going on vacation and you're deciding you're going to be gone for 2 weeks, it's a very good chance that you're going to be fine taking both of those pens and having fun, being limited on your foods and your alcohol intake, and you could still have a good time. You don't have to drink. You don't have to have the best foods. Maybe stick with what type of diet you've already been following up till that point. Now, let's see. Here's another one. My doctor was shocked that I lost more than 3 pounds in the first month. Well, again, let's look back at what this product actually does, especially in the very beginning. People do not increase their water intake, could tax their bodies, especially their kidneys, and dehydrate themselves without even knowing it. So the actual weight loss that this person actually experienced was most likely water. That's where people get this little dissatisfied with this medication because they don't see what others have seen. But remember, everybody is different body-wise, and also how they go at this type of medication. Are they really strict? Are they going to use a keto version? Remember, keto does the same thing as what this actually does, is it flushes your system because you're getting rid of sugars. Keto, you get rid of sugar in one way. This gets rid of it in a medical way. So you're using two different things. You could become or have a low blood sugar in your body, and you'll have some maybe not so energy. You might be energy deficient, so you might feel weak because that's what sugar does. Gives you a little bump in your activities. So I'm sure that this individual that actually made this statement was just joking, but probably not. They state, I didn't lose any weight this past week. I blame the Girl Scout cookies. Okay. If you aren't emotionally ready for this, why would you waste your money and your time? I'm just going to say that and leave that right there. So in the future, I just wanted to point out that I will have some recipes like I talked about earlier. I have a bread that I am going to share just as soon as I perfect that as well. I have a chocolate chip cookie that I'm very close to perfecting, at least to the point where it is definitely more than edible. But as we all know, if you're looking for low carb ideas, it is very hard to find something that you will eat more than one day. You're looking for something like a snack that you would have maybe the next day or the day after that, and then make a new batch. You don't want to make one thing about keto recipes. I'm finding that breads, chocolate chip cookies, pastries, snacks, anything more than a couple of days, they do not taste that well. So what I recommend is smaller portions till you get to the right tweaking of your own, because you might tweak whatever I put out there. Your tastes are going to be different than mine. That's just how it is. I have a spaghetti that I make, and I started making a different type of pasta for myself that would be very low carb. And that's because some of the commercial brands, Miracle Noodles, etc., shirataki, probably pronouncing it wrong, shirataki noodles, they're just not that great. I've tried different ways of preparing them. especially some of the miracle noodles. They smell like fish and kind of turns you off if you do get a whiff. But if you take it, prepare it away from your face, it's a good chance you'll still eat it. Some things actually take sauces exceptionally well, and that's what I look for. But again, just as soon as I start doing this recipe shows, that these might be very interesting to you as well. But let's talk about allergic reactions and what you should do. If you are part of a Facebook post that you constantly watch, understand this. People lie. So take it with a grain of salt. Start believing maybe half of what someone's actually saying. Because you don't want to get into that mode where you're thinking you're going to lose as much as they say they do. Some have lost quite a bit of weight. Others say they've lost quite a bit of weight. But if, like I said, if you have an issue that might become, say, something you might want to call your doctor about, such as this one, call your doctor. Do not post it on Facebook to see if someone who could answer the question, other than go see your doctor. That's what I'm saying. So anyone else having problems with itching, that could be most likely, probable, an allergic reaction. So started on my shins after first shot, took my third on Friday. Kind of afraid, maybe allergic, but don't want to be. LOL, just lost close to 8 pounds in 2 weeks. Well, the good thing is they say that there's no issue with breathing or swelling of any kind. But if this is anybody you know, tell them go see a doctor, or at least call your doctor. They might just say, take some Benadryl, and if it clears up, maybe that'll be okay. I don't know. But why take a chance in your health? It's mind-blowing. So another individual is lasting longer, and they're staying longer on Wegovy, 0.25, than the initial 4 weeks that I am told that I can move up. Why wouldn't you move up? I don't get it, but this individual says they haven't lost any weight yet. Move up. They haven't decided to move up until their 3rd month. I am told by my doctor, who is not a weight loss guru, they just, she recommended it. I did some research for a few months and bam, I decided to go for it. But not one time did she say, we're going to go 3 months on 0.25 because it's a waste of your time. I'm thinking, but good luck with that, my friend. You want to stay on 0.25, the beginner dose, for 3 months before you move up to 0.5? That sounds ludicrous. You're going to pay the same amount, no matter if you're up the dosage or not. By the time your 3rd month, you should be up more than halfway through this whole scenario. So then you'd probably be losing weight. But maybe she had some issues, nausea, constipation, etc. Not saying that here, so I'm not sure what's the real situation. So maybe they wanted to get their body truly used to it before moving up. But I'm hearing many different insurance companies will only allow you to be on this medication for a certain amount of time before they pull you. You might want to consider that because of no weight loss. And It is one of those things you got to be aware of. Insurance companies do play games a lot. So like I was talking about why someone might want to stay on 0.25 to get their body used to it a little bit longer. I understand it when it comes to maybe this individual here. I am on day 4 of Wegovy 0.25, and the last 3 days have been awful. I have had horrible nausea, vomiting several times. Felt like I have that alien thing in my belly from the Alien movie. I thought I knew what bloating was. I was wrong. And feeling so tired. And last night, my abdominal and back hurt so much, I woke up at 3 a.m. It felt like a gallstone attack, but I don't have a gallbladder. I have tried really hard today to keep hydrated. So, this is the perfect individual that needs to call the doctor. You know, it's unfortunate that we live in a day and age where we have to message everything to our doctor. And it's usually 2-3 days before they get back to us. This could be very well something where pancreatitis attack or constipation is starting to set in. That happened to a few different people that have posted me in the past. It sounds very similar, especially in the belly area, in the back. It caused back pain just as soon as they were able to clear their lower body. You know what I mean? Going number 2. They had much more relief. But that doesn't mean this is what's going on with this individual. Instead of an email, possibly if you have your insurance that allows like a Zoom call with a nurse through your insurance, that might be a recommendation as well. I'm putting this out there again. I'm looking for anybody that would like to share what is going on with them, good or bad. Medical issues, maybe a medical issue that could save others' lives, that you'd like to share, and I could send you a link to do a live show. If it's something that you're interested in and you'd like to help, because this medication has actually had some issues where gallbladders had to be removed. Pancreatitis, there's some major issues you got to be dealing with. And maybe someone experiencing those things would like to share to help others. Or any other reason you just wanted to be on the show and we could talk about your success. Just think about it. Don't say no. Okay, now this might sound a little harsh, but I really don't understand it. How can you be a grown-up, because you have to be a grown-up to be on this medication, correct? Or parent or guardian allowing you to go forward with this. Here is someone asking, is there local groups that get together and poke each other for us babies? Meaning the pen it gives you too much discomfort. You are a grown person, a grown-up. Remember this. I do not get where you're coming from. I really don't. I don't. You don't even feel it. And don't tell me you do. No way. No. That is the smallest needle I think that they make. It's just nonsense. Okay. I got that out. Next thing. Some people are having some issues where they inject themselves. They wait till the last click. They follow all the procedures. The little yellow line stops moving if you have Wegovy, at least. The Ozempic is a little bit different, but you have to actually use a needle for that. You have to replace the needle. So some people count to 10. Well, I'm going to tell you this. I think if you're doing it in your leg, you might want to consider your belly. For one reason is it's less muscle, and you're going to want to try to get this in your fat, not your muscle. It absorbs into fat easier. So you won't have the issue where it runs out of your body and onto the floor and you're wasting the product. This is the way what I'm hearing. I'm not a doctor again. I'm trying to just give you some heads up of what people have asked me, and I've looked into it, and that's what many people are talking about. If you count to 10, it's in a fat area, especially a belly area, it absorbs a lot easier. And if 10 seconds doesn't work at that point, count to 10 slowly, maybe 20, whatever works. You'll find what works for you. Now, remember, this is only once a week. Saxenda, now that was daily. Wegovy, once a week. So you're not going to try to get the same area. That way you move it around. So if you have any irritations, maybe, I can't imagine it, but if you have any scarring, you don't want to keep going in the same spot. Just a thought. All right. Well, hey, I do appreciate everybody stopping in. And if you like what you've seen, please like, share, subscribe. And if you hit the bell notification for all, you'll get the updates in the future. Have a great day. God bless America. God bless the world.